Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, so welcome to the back testing session of March 3rd. So we're gonna go back and do our back testing like we do every Tuesday or Monday, whatever day I end up getting to it. It's been Tuesdays lately. So welcome to the back testing session of... Okay, my bad. Okay, what day was last Monday? So why do we come and do back testing? We come and do back testing because we want to reiterate that our strategy works. And if we were to just follow the strategy, where we would have gotten our accounts to. So we are starting here Monday, February 23rd. So I'm going to go back in my alerts to the 23rd. There we go. Okay, so this day I'm just going to start around market open. We don't have one before then, so I'm just going to go to open and see what was happening there. Make me go all the way back. Where's the candles? 23rd. All right, so we would have been here at open. We take usually the entry after the pullback, so it probably would have like been more something like this. Oh, way too big of a position. We probably did something like this, 50 and 50. But you could have also gotten 100 on open there. So it just depended on what you took there. And then our next confirmed 5-shot signal we didn't actually have one on Monday. So let's kind of just go over how this all would have worked. This was at what time? 6:50. So candle color didn't match. Trade time did match. POC and 238 matched without trend. So typically this is the kind of trade that happens after open. Typically when we have our big push up, we'll have a push down and it'll go in and we'll grab some liquidity and things like that. So as you can see, if you would have just followed this trade here, even though it didn't fully work, you would have been able to get some pips. What would have been your best entry here? Well, this kind of would have been a little hard to enter because it doesn't really pull back to the candles that well. So we get the signal on the wrong colored candle. So usually whenever that happens, we're waiting for a pullback to the EMAs and then an engulfing candle. This candle did not fully engulf, this one did. So ideally you would have shorted off of that candle here. And then typically at this point you want to do at least 50 pips, if not more. This is like literally at the top of this candle, so it would have been a super hard position, but also did play out. You could have gotten quite a bit of pips, but this was kind of a hard place. Usually whenever we get a signal right at a point where your support or resistance is quite close, we're looking for something, right? As you can see here, this broke the structure of here, and it was an engulfing candle. So that's a pretty safe candle to enter on and have your stop behind. But again, hard when your stop is 65 pips, and we're usually talking about 25 pips. But even if you did have your 25 pip and you entered on the candle after the engulfing candle, you would have been safe. You would have been in a little bit of drawdown, but still safe. So you could have taken that trade, but would have been a little bit harder for sure. And like, as you can see, the signal's paid this day. If you would have just entered the signal and not worried about all the rules, you could have definitely caught some pips. But again, your risk would have been a little bit more than you probably would have wanted. So usually we want to do a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Usually you want your stop behind your EMAs. So this is kind of like how you would have looked at this trade. Also came on the wrong colored candle. So you would have wanted to wait for the pullback to the EMAs and an engulfing candle. And I mean, these candles aren't that great. So it would have been kind of hard to enter there. Then we get this sell down here. Also, I mean, if you would have just entered, you would have gotten some pips, but some of these are kind of hard when you're trading like this, right? Especially when you're averaging over 100 or over 50 pips for your stop loss. But if you had a 50 pip stop loss on either one of these signals, regardless of which rules it would have met, you would have been able to make some profit here that day. So sometimes you just need to follow your gut, follow your instinct. This was a great trend. You could have trailed your stop loss along the 20 or the 50 to secure your pips, and you would have done really well here on either one of these trades. So just kind of depends how you're trailing and all of that kind of stuff. The rest of these I'm not going to look at because they're kind of late in the day. So I'm just going to go back over here, and the first 5-star signal of the week is 6:38 the next day. Oops. Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
That's good. It's okay. It's just, it's not a toy. Hi, buddy. We got some sick kids here today.
Yeah.
Or one sick kid anyway.
No, Axton keeps coughing too.
Well, I think he's fake coughing. I don't think he's actually coughing. Okay, so market open here. I mean, this would have probably been a hard trade, but you could have gotten some things. Make sure to cover your mouth when you're coughing, hey?
Yeah.
So.
Mom.
This definitely would have been a hard spot to kind of get your pips in, to say the least. But you could have got somewhere around 80 if you really were pretty quick about it. If you had your TP set, you entered at the right time, all that kind of stuff. You guys.
Oh.
What? What do you need?
Oh.
Oh.
No. These
Yeah.
are pretty, Mama.
Yeah. If you want to wear them, you can.
This is really, really pretty. This is really pretty.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do you get all these things?
I don't know. Collected them over the years.
Did you just find them, or you got them from the store?
No, I've collected them over the years, and I had them in somewhere special, and then now I set them up.
But like, where did you find these?
Well, this one Daddy-O bought for me. This one came in a box thing that I got, subscription box.
You found. I actually found. I actually found this one.
Yeah. Okay, guys. This is so funny. All right, this is why I can never concentrate on anything.
Yeah.
What are we doing right now?
So pretty.
Yeah, it is really pretty, isn't it?
This one.
Okay, we're taking along at 6:38 because it matched all these signals.
Mama.
So this would have been your great trade here. You could have gotten a couple of pips. Again, large stop loss. So you could have gone for a 50 pip. You could have gone for an 80, 100. Depends what you're comfortable with. Obviously, not exactly the rules also. But again, the signal paid. And you were in like no drawdown. So you could have easily secured. And then also the fact that it came back and it gave you kind of like a re-entry, and you could have taken the trade again for the second time. So there's also that. Okay, so the next trade, now that I've lost my chair.
The chair isn't on there. Mommy. What? Just me and Axton?
Yeah, you guys are just funny. Okay, 11:13 p.m. So I'm not going to look at that one because we don't do the nighttime ones or the middle of the night. So 5:56. Cover your mouth, girl. I don't want to be coughed on.
Is he faking it?
I think he's faking it because he only does it when you're doing it. Okay, long 556.
Whoa.
Right in here. So you definitely could have got your 50 pips there, depending on your stop loss, but this one was nice. You could have at least followed the regular rules at like 25 pips and got your position on that one, all before market open. And then 6:30 happened. This would have been a hard trade. We probably would have entered this for the buy, I would assume. I should probably just mark these on the chart when we're trading with Jay, and then that would be smart, right? Okay, so, oh, that's not the chair. I thought you had come close enough for me to sit on it because my knees hurt so bad on the ground. Okay, so let's give Mama her chair back, or at least a portion of the chair back. Okay. There's like 5 chairs back here if you guys wanted to sit in a chair.
Can I sit?
That's not my office chair.
Can I sit like right here?
Sure. There you go. Okay, so 6:52 is the next fully confirmed signal, and it would have deked you out, and then given you another thing right after. Can you take that upstairs, baby doll? So hard place to enter when you're like this. So look at these EMAs. We also just went up here and kind of basically took these 2 things twice, but really give us an indecision, like no higher highs, higher lows. You got like kind of 2 trends like that going, right? So kind of hard to trade when it goes like that and you're getting this kind of a setup. You almost have to wait for the breakout and figure out what's going on after that. 8 o'clock is the next one. So that's here.
I can hear the music from here.
I can hear the music from here too. So, if you had your 25 pip stop,
Can I go upstairs?
you could have secured some pips, but not a whole 50.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. If you had your thing at 50 pips and your TP at 100, you would have been in a little bit of drawdown, but you would have closed for your 100 pips on that one. So how do I decide these things? A lot of this is just looking at where my EMAs cross. This is a good spot if your 238 or your EMAs, that's usually what you're wanting to like secure at, right? So crisscross of these on the lower side, if you were just there, you would have never gotten taken out here by this wick. So that's another way that I kind of like to place my stop loss when I'm setting up a trade, depending on what we're looking for. Okay, what day is this? 26th. I'm gonna have Taylor Swift stuck in my head all day now today. Okay, so we didn't even get a signal that day on the 26th. Okay, this was the 26th. This is where we were at open, so as long as you took the buy at open, something like this. I'm not sure where Jay had this, but could have gotten some pips. And then here, like, this trade really fell. But this trade didn't follow the rules because the POC being in the way. So you could have taken the trade maybe at the retest of these EMAs, pull back entry, enter at the breakout. There could have been somewhere you could have entered. Again, a little risky when you're this far away from these EMAs and these candles are this big. So we know that this is a 75 pip area, right? You can see that from the top to the bottom of these 2 candles is 75 pips. So you're right in between these 2 EMAs. You're better off taking almost that break and retest and re-break of the 238 there. 8:30. Oh, it said it wasn't with trend here, but I mean, if you drew a trend line somewhere in here, right? It just depends how you're looking at it, I guess. But if you would have taken some of these signals, I mean, like, you could have still made some money. So just depends where you're at, what your risk level is at, and all that kind of stuff, right? Of course. And as you grow as a trader and grow as taking these kill shot signals, you're going to be able to see these patterns set up a little bit better after doing the back testing and reviewing it multiple times. You see these patterns set up, and every week you'll be like, oh, on this day it made that same kind of pattern, and then you're starting to do your pattern recognition, and then you can start becoming a more confident trader. And that is why we are doing this back testing, is because it builds your confidence, but it also builds my confidence. So I like to come in here and look at all these different trades to see if we would have just followed the rules, what does happen, you know? And Jay does prove that on Fridays. He does his back testing Fridays. So if you ever wanted to jump on his live calls too, you can, which is always great, right? So again, you could have a 35 pip stop here if you just had it back at these EMAs crossing. And you could have gotten up to like 237 pips. So you would have been in no drawdown here the whole time, basically. So great position there. Also pre-market open. So some of these that come at like 3 a.m. I'm usually hesitant about, but some of these that are like closer to 5 at my time aren't so bad. And then market open. We would have been here. We would have wanted to take a sell, but like you probably got tapped in somewhere here and had to like withstand this drawdown. So we may have gotten hit on our stops. I'm not sure. Let's put this up here. It'd have been a risky day, and I'm sure there were some of us who took the wrong position. But ideally, if this candle had finished before you had entered and you entered at these EMAs, then you would have been in drawdown, yes, but you wouldn't have gotten hit out unless you were at 75 pips. So as long as you were at like 100 pips, you would have been okay. But probably was a bit of a nail biter that day. 11:16. So that was here, short. You could have got your 50 pips. Looks like such a small position after that last one, hey? So that's what your 50 pips a day looks like. This is what 275 pips looks like. So these were mega trades. That's why I was saying like this fell really quickly. It may have been really hard to catch. Like these are definitely more advanced kind of trades. And then also if you trail your stops on your EMAs, you can also stay in on these things and be protected at a good amount. So that's also a way that you can trade these really big runners that have these very like steep differences between these EMAs. So that is the last trade of the week. Then we're at March 2nd, so that's yesterday. And 8:43, 11:17 were the ones.
You didn't know I was there.
No, I can hear you come in.
Oh. Accent's upstairs. I don't know what used to.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Oh. How does this work?
Well, it's a microphone. You talk into it and it works. It's not plugged in right now.
Hello. Plug it in. I want to do it. I want to try.
Yesterday, I didn't trade open.
Mommy, plug it in.
But you could have been looking for a sell here and then just not got put in the trade.
Mommy,
Yeah.
plug it in.
I'm not going to right now. I'm almost done my recording and then I can.
Okay.
And 11:17.
Have you tried these yet with the microphone?
I'm not sure if I have used the microphone on that one or not yet, to be honest. I think I used the microphone on the camera. So you could have also got some pips here. This would have been a hard entry because you're so far away from these EMAs. So like this level would have been your best bet. You didn't get into drawdown, so that's good. But also hard trade to trade sometimes, right? So yeah. Was there another one? No, it's PM. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for today. Thank you guys all for joining me. Appreciate it. Thanks, kids, for helping. Yeah, this way. We will chat with you guys again later this week. I will be on for live trading again on Thursday. So I will talk to you guys all on that day.